Hello, family. Welcome back to yet another episode of ohtobewhole with Camille Young. I'm here. How are you? Y'all, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Y'all, I finally put my Christmas tree up. I am a festive person, but I'm not really a festive person when it comes to putting up decorations and all of that kind of stuff. So, but this year, I felt a little excited about the upcoming holiday. And Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. So I'm always excited about Christmas. It's just, I don't always do the things that, like the decorating that comes with it. But I put my tree up, got a little more work to do to it, but I went ahead and put it up for this year. Didn't do it last year, but did this year. But look, so glad you all are joining me on today. Hello, Holy Rollers. How y'all doing? I know y'all got y'all's decorations up. Because I know Holy Rollers, baby, don't play when it comes to taking care of their business, okay? Look, let's dive right on into today's topic. Look, I want to talk about this topic today because it's not new, but it's something that I've been hearing, and it bothers me when I hear it, or the first time I heard it or read it, it kind of put, my antennas went up, and I just started processing and thinking about it. So today's topic is, ask the question, parents, are you practicing idolatry? Okay? Parents, are you practicing idolatry? No, I am not a parent. However, I have done a lot of parenting vicariously through my siblings who have children, other children who've been around me. So I do have nieces and nephews that I've helped to raise and some potty train. But I have been around a lot of children, and I know that they say there's nothing like becoming a parent. Like, that's one of the major things in life that changes your life for the rest of your life. And so I started noticing it's been happening for the last, 3-4 years, but I wanted to talk about it today. I don't know if you've ever said it, if you're a parent, or you've heard other people say it, or this is something that I've seen on social media quite a bit, that people write. They say things like, their child is their heartbeat. Okay? And at first glance, or at first hearing, it may not be a big deal. It may not be that big of a deal. But then once I kept hearing it and reading it, people do it all the time on social media. As I said before, I began to process that. And I'm like, your children are your heartbeat, or, this child, that's my heartbeat, all of that kind of stuff. And we know, especially for those of us who are believers, the word says your words have power. Okay? Your words have power. And I just, I'm not trying to be judgmental or over analytical, but just want to bring something to your mind. You say your children are your heartbeat. And we know in this day and age, unfortunately, a lot of parents are burying their children. And I'm like, so if you're saying that your child is your heartbeat, God forbid you lose your child. Life doesn't happen in the order that it should, and you end up having to bury your child. Are you gonna die too? Okay, think about that. And I understand, I do understand, or have a sense of understanding what is meant, because there is a sentiment behind it, saying how much you're trying to express, how much your child or your children mean to you. I get that. Children are close to your heart. I get it. But saying that they are your heartbeat, that you gotta be careful what you say and how you say, because what you wouldn't want to happen is, God forbid, again, something happens to your child and your heart is so broken that you can't recover from it. Because, we've had many parents, I won't say many, but we've had some parents whose marriages dissolve as a result of the loss of a child. And you also have situations where the parent never recovers mentally from losing the child or children. And then you also have where parents lose hope and end up passing away from a broken heart, end up passing away due to the loss of a child or children. And I just I wanted to talk about this because I just feel like it's important that we are mindful of our words, because it can be seen as idol worship when you put in your child, you got your child held in such high esteem that, you feel like you can't live without your child. And we've seen people do it all the time, but you want to be able to, should that happen, and again, I say God forbid, but should that happen, you want to be able to move on in a healthy manner. Of course it would be difficult. Of course the grieving process is forever, but you can move in life in a healthy manner and have coping skills in the event that something like that should happen. So my whole point around today's topic is be mindful of your words and ensure that it's not idle work. You're not worshiping your child or your children, because one of the 10 commandments that yet holds true is God says, I will have no other God before me. Okay? And when you hold your child in that high of esteem, where if something were to happen to them, you couldn't make it, you couldn't go on, that's not a good place. That's not a good place to be mentally. And that is idol worship. Anything that you put before God and you're not bowing down to some object or but you have put that child in a place that can come between you and your relationship with God. You got to check it. Okay? You got to check it. And that's for anything in your life. But I wanted to talk about this because this is an ongoing pattern that I'm seeing where your child is your heartbeat and all that kind of stuff. And again, I understand that you mean well. You mean well. I get that. But just be careful. Now, it's one thing to lose your life because you're trying to save your child's life, or, you taking a bullet for your child, or you put yourself in harm's way to preserve the life of your child. That's different. You run into a fire to go get you. That's different. I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm speaking of where you have your child held in such high esteem that if anything were to happen to your child, you could not recover, or you yourself would grieve so deeply that your life just would fall apart and potentially ultimately die, and again, I wanted to bring that to the forefront. I hope nobody is taking offense to what I'm saying, and feel free to put your opinion in the comments. I have no problem with that. But again, just wanted to bring this to the forefront and give you something to think about as you speak about your children, and as not just your children, but as you speak about things in general. Idol worship is not an okay thing. Okay? Anything that comes between your relationship with God, anything that you hold in such high esteem that you feel like you can't go on in life, you need to check it, because that may be idol worship. Okay? All right. Well, look, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for joining me. You still have time, y'all. If you want to get a book and order your book for a Christmas gift for someone, go ahead and go to ohtobewhole.com and get your book. You can get t-shirts. This is not one of my t-shirts. One of the ones that are for sale, but I do have other t-shirts. The Walking in My God-Given Purpose, I Am Whole. Those shirts are for sale as well. So just either contact me on ohtobewhole.com. You can purchase your book at ohtobewhole.com, or if you want to get a t-shirt, contact me at ohtobewhole@gmail.com so we can get your order to you. Okay, all right. So look, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to subscribe, y'all, like and share, and get down in those comments. All right. And share your comments. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, God bless.